Guerillas, and I'm with David. And Dave, are you a member of the SNP?
I am a member of the SNP, yes.
And we're just here at Speaker's Corner in the Meadows in Edinburgh, and we're having a quick chat. The guys are actually, I don't know, I don't know, let me just swing it right here, getting names for the Yes campaign. And tell us a wee bit about what's happening. I actually don't know this, so this is going to be a bit of education for me. What is happening with the Nicholas Sturgeon going to the High Court, and how's it looking? What's the feedback from that? Do you know?
Well, the one thing I would say is that, first of all, I'm not an official spokesperson, so, don't take my answer as being the gospel and the truth of the matter here.
That's fine.
But I think the general view that I've picked up from members and people who aren't members is that it was a really canny move. It was quite smart in the sense that it didn't just provide a possible answer to whether the referendum would go ahead, but it also gave us the alternative route if that idea was blocked off.
What do you mean? You just abandon that a wee bit? What do you mean by that?
Well, if the Supreme Court says no, you can't hold a referendum legally, then we give us the second option, which is to have this, the next general election, UK general election, will be a de facto referendum. I don't like the whole party terms, like de facto.
Would you think the
SNP? As if I'm a Latin scholar.
No, but would you think within the SNP, if they do this, will they do a UDI?
No, there is absolutely no chance. There is absolutely no chance that anything like a UDI is going to happen. I mean, apart from anything else, nobody's going to recognise it.
Well, Margaret Thatcher.
So what would be the point of declaring something that was not going to be recognised by the international community, and you'd just be left in this no man's land in the middle where you weren't one thing or the other. If it's not recognised by the international community, it's not happening. It's madness to think that is the way forward.
Well, Margaret Thatcher in the 1980s said that the only thing that's required for Scottish independence is the SNP to get a majority of MPs, which they've already had, David, for a number of elections.
Sure.
Why does the party find it nonsense from that point of view that they wouldn't do it if Margaret Thatcher said they could do it, and that would be the actual crux to actually break the union rather than a referendum?
I think referendums are regarded as the way that you put these things through, and that they're recognised and accepted by the international community. I also think that there's form here, in the sense that UK governments, and I'm not just thinking about this one or even back in the 70s, would always put a line in the sand that says if you reach here, then it will happen. But that line in the sand is always just 10%, 50% beyond where such and such a campaign could be looking to reach at the time. So in the 80s, get half of the seats of Westminster. Oh well, we did that. Oh, you need 50% in a referendum. Oh crikey, it looks like you're dangerously close to getting over 50% in the referendum. Oh no, right, we'll change it. It's going to be a 2/3 majority. So this kind of sense, and it's sort of bound up in this whole thing about the sovereignty of Parliament, and Parliament will bind another, and it's deeply embedded, I think, into the English culture that you set a target that's unachievable, then when it looks like it's going to be achieved, shift it and put it somewhere else. And I think it comes from the idea of just having an empire for so long. We're doing it this way because we say so, and you're below us, so you'll do what you're told.
So what happens, which it looks just now, although a week's a long time in politics, inevitable that the SNP are going to get a majority of seats in the next Westminster Parliament. what happens after that? What's the strategic? Do you know what the strategic plan is? If the role is to get the majority on that single issue, what happens after that?
David, you're going to have to speak to someone that's a far higher level up the food chain than I am. I am merely a humble foot soldier, so I have no idea. I have no idea. I have hopes and ambitions and wishes for where we want to get to, you know. But I think possibly the most dangerous result is 49 to 51 in either direction, because in either case it's going to be so close you're going to have to work out some kind of way of getting losers' consent. And if it's 51% for independence, that's got a hell of a lot of people who are going to be feeling sore. And we're going to have to find some kind of way of accommodating what they want into an independent Scotland, as much as what the people who are pro-independence, what they want as well. Again, I'll just repeat one more time, I am not an official spokesman for the party.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm speaking entirely
we talk
in
to
a
people,
personal capacity.
We talk to people who are...
That's my personal take.
We talk to people who are not spokespeople as well, and as long as you say that that's your personal take, that's fine. So we understand. We do talk to the major politicians as well, and it's very interesting sometimes getting their take on it as well. What's going to happen?
They have a line to follow.
So I'm just going
have a line to follow.
I'm just going to flip round and show the flags. So we've got the refugees are welcome here. Flag, the gay flag,
we've got the
EU. Yes, the yes flag. The yes flag.
This is the planet. There is no planet B. And then we've got a solidarity with Ukraine flag, which seems to have been
furrowed itself
over several times.
So, there's quite a lot of gay people just now in the Parliament just now, and we've got a declining population here. And apparently the only thing that...
Are you really going to ask me a question about this? You've got to be kidding. It's a total non-issue.
What do you mean?
What people do in the privacy of their own bedrooms?
No, that's not. No, I agree. I'm a liberal as well.
I'm very worried about where you're going with this.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about demographics.
Right.
I'm not talking about sexuality. Phew, for you, it says you. No, I agree. I am a libertarian liberal, so I believe in the individual's rights. So it's not my business. But what is, from a political point of view, political business, is the demographics. And we have got a declining population.
Gay people have been having kids since God knows how.
No, I'm not talking about the gay people. I'm not talking about gay people. I'm talking about the demographics in Scotland as a general. And it looks like there's major problems, whatever reason, that we're not having enough children. From the statistics, and from a political point of view, we're actually not reproducing on a scale that's we're going to even sustain. So we're going to maybe have a collapse, and I'm just wondering if that's the reason for the immigration, because people are not having enough children. And is there any political policy that you think that might be happening that might be adding to the fact that people are not having enough children? If you're having 3 or less children, if a woman has 3 or less children, we have got a deficit or a decline in the population.
No, I think the reproduction rate to keep the population constant is for women on average to have 2.2 children. Quite where the 0.2 comes from, we're not quite sure. That could be, deal with a head or an arm or whatever. Sorry, that's...
No, I understand.
I apologise.
That's okay. That's okay. No, it was good that you did your joke.
So what I would say is, I think there's extra support being put in place for families who are having children, for the kids that are in lower income brackets. We've got this Scottish child payment of £20 a week, which is going to, I think, be going up to £25 a week very soon. I think that's certainly going to help people that are at the, at the lower end of incomes. There's no question that helps. I think the really important thing for us is to get ourselves to a point where we can become a destination for immigrants. Scotland is quite quite an interesting place. It's one of the few places that it hasn't suffered from an issue of immigration. It's have suffered from a problem of emigration. Too many people have had to leave for too long. You know, I mean, actually, when you think about it, the fact that there are maybe 10, 15 million people in North America who say that they have, you know, they're Scottish and they have, you know, roots. I mean, that's actually, in many ways, a national catastrophe for Scotland. All of these people who could have been providing, what would be the right, you know, making good lives for themselves in Scotland were denied that opportunity, and they had to move away. And when you know, you've got to ask yourself, well, why was that? And you know, if you're in charge of the economic policy of a nation, you can engineer things. You can engineer things in such a way that there are jobs available for people to stay, people to move to, or you can engineer things in such a way that if you want to be if you're ambitious and you want to succeed, oh, well, we'll give you the opportunity to do that, but not here, not in Scotland.
Is there any way,
you need to move somewhere else.
Is there any way we can actually encourage people to have sex and reproduce and get long-term relationships? Is there any, maybe a brass band or something?
I am not answering that question on the record. You are playing silly games here and you know it.
David, thanks very much. Welcome to Guerrilla TV. You are marvellous. Thanks.